Greetings, Warlocks, Hunters, Titans, and all the kitties at sea.
Exactly.
It's time once again for Happy Hour from the Tower. We are live on Twitch, and I am your host. Oh, God, there it is. T. Morris.
All right, man. We'll get it tomorrow. First thing.
One more. No, one more.
No. You're going to work.
No, one more. One more game.
To work.
One more game. I want one more game.
I just want one more game. That's all I want. And over to my left.
I'm Nick Kelly.
Follow them to glory.
You have to.
Hell yeah.
You have to. And sitting across from me.
I'm Brandon Kelly.
Oh, I saw that thermal. You took those bullets like a man. Nicely done.
Ow.
That's a favorite of mine. And speaking of favorites, all the way from Detroit Rock City, home of the Red Wings, new married man, new homeowner, mystery guest, sign on in.
My name is ZGphoto. Go this way. I'm gonna need to hear this.
All right.
Not a good way.
Whoa, jeez. He is a leader of men. He is a leader of men. Not that way. Not that way, T. Not that way.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I know what clip that is.
Yeah, that is a favorite, man. That is a favorite. That almost made the best of 2019. I'm telling you, that was a fun night.
Good.
See, that was a fun night. There's a lot. Okay, let's be honest. There's a lot that has happened to Z since he was last on the podcast. Let's just run it down. When the young whippersnapper that is ZGphoto was on this youngling of a podcast, let's just say he was a part-time streamer. He was an affiliate working towards partnership, and he was he hadn't even made that better half of his. He hadn't even popped the question. He had not even popped the question. And since then,
still streaming in a closet.
And still streaming, and he was streaming, and he was streaming in a closet. So since then, let's just run down the checklist. Let's see if I can get it in order. Partnered. Let's see. Partnered. Then proposal. Then full-time. Then married. And then homeowner.
That's right.
He now has, as you can see on the feed, he is in studio now, and he is. Oh wow! And we are kicking this off. Right. We had a technical difficulty at first, but Blind Gamer Steve just subscribed to Tier 1. Thank you, Blind Gamer Steve. We appreciate it. And thanks everybody for joining us today for this live recording of Happy Hour from the Tower. ZGphoto, it is so good to have you back on the podcast.
Good to be back
man.
on.
So good to have you on the podcast.
On.
So Z, for those people who don't know, tell us who you are and what do you do?
So, my name is Zach. You can call me Zach, ZGphoto, Photo Z, anyone. It's not like I've ever said that before. I stream from my new home in Michigan. I've been streaming on Twitch for, now almost 5 years, I think. No, almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years this coming November. I've been partner for 2. Ink 2, man, I don't even know anymore. It's all blending in together. Jeez. I have been a Destiny fan since day 1. Did not play beta, but I was a Destiny fan since day 1. Kind of taking a little break from it now, playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, which many of you may know, maybe you don't. And now I'm just living my best life.
That's great.
Before we get to the Sea of Thieves stuff,
Yep.
Since we are going to talk about Destiny, Brandon and I have decided that. Sorry, Zach, that you have to witness this, but we've come for an intervention.
An intervention?
Yes.
Okay, you guys give me the hairy eyeball here. What?
We've come for a faction intervention.
A faction intervention? What? Oh my God! Do we remember when factions were a thing? Those are gorgeous.
Bungie doesn't.
Wow.
So it looks like you'll have 2 open spots for your podcast.
Isn't that the truth?
This is if he didn't fire us over Twilight Sparkle War Cult, and I don't know if you know about that one, Zach, but I can show it to you.
I don't think I do.
Brandon's got it. So
yeah, Twilight Sparkle War Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Oh,
there you go.
Complete with the collar and everything.
Get your war cult.
Look, until you guys get in your.
That's savage.
Come on, man. Iraq Jalal. Let's leave Earth behind. Let's do it.
I will just leave it at this. I'll leave it at this, you emo mother effers. If as soon as I will jump factions just as soon as you guys get a sexy representative like Sharaya Gadushlu. Once you get that sultry Iranian American voice onto your faction, then we'll talk.
So
Until then, you guys go sit in the back of the hangar, listen to Morrissey, work on your guy liner. That's fine. Okay?
Have you seen Iraq Jalal? With that hair, he could definitely sing bass.
Iraq Jalal's just kind of like emo Rob Zombie, I think. Is probably. So, yeah, you're right. He's not. But we have the room that has all the fancy spoken word poetry.
You're in the back of the hangar, for Pete's sake.
Yes.
You're in the back of the
Where
hangar.
did you guys get those shirts?
Those are gorgeous. Where did
They
you
were
get
on
those?
Those are
Amazon
really nice.
somewhere.
Yeah, they were on your Christmas list, right?
Yeah, I don't remember where they were. I think it was Amazon.
They're nice.
We'll find. We'll find.
Very nice.
We'll get it. We'll send a link.
I
But
just-
they even have it like down the arm.
Do they have them for
Yeah,
all
no,
the
those
factions
look,
or just
those
Dead
look like
Orbit?
jerseys. Those almost look like
Yeah.
jerseys. Those
The
look
only one I
nice.
found was for Dead Orbit.
Yeah,
but
'cause
of
the other
course,
ones don't
only
matter.
one I
Of
was
course,
looking
of
for.
course,
Right.
of course.
Because the other ones were sold out, probably.
Yeah, there you go. The other ones were sold out.
Why
To
would the new
Warlocks.
Monarchy one be sold out?
It's a warlock.
That's the one with Dexter's dad.
Never.
That's Dexter's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dexter's dad runs New Monarchy.
James Remar.
Yeah, James Remar. Hey, nice pull. Nice pull.
Come on, man. He was in the Warriors.
Oh, the guy's got a huge track record. Huge track record. So we are actually here to talk to Z because Z's got a big day ahead of him on January 18th. That is So for those of you who are regulars to Happy Hour from the Tower, first off, thank you again for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Secondly, you're saying, hey, wait a minute, these guys usually do this every other week. Why are they going back to back with shows? The reason why we're going back to back to shows is because I wanted to do something for Z to help him promote this upcoming 24-hour stream, and because we had already we needed to do a show.
Yep.
For looking back on 2019 and everything, I said, well, we're just going to do 2 shows back to back. So, Mazel Tov, we're starting off 2020 with 2 shows back to back with Happy Hour from
We're
the
really
Tower.
doing this because I'm not allowed to have any free time on my schedule.
That
Right.
too.
I like that you said he proposed, partnered, married, moved, bought a house. But this is the big day. Like all of that pales in comparison.
Priorities.
Okay.
Priorities. I'm sure Molly is looking at that.
Of this
it's like,
year.
It's like, well, the marriage was
She's
important.
not
but-
listening. She's not listening.
Not to this podcast.
Oh, well, then this is the most
Yeah.
important day.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, perfect. I just want. Never mind.
I made that mistake too because early on with the other podcast, and I was like, "Yeah, nobody in our family will ever hear this." And then my mother-in-law made a comment, and I'm like,
You never know who's listening.
"Okay."
You never
That
know
was some
who is
early
listening.
That was early. That was 13-year-old Brandon. No, 12-year-old Brandon
Ooh,
D&D.
that's worse.
Yes,
That's
that was-
going back a ways.
Yeah.
We got a new
Just descending
name in the
quality.
stream. Tiny Lunchbox. Thanks for joining.
What's
thanks
up?
for popping in. So big day. January 18th, big day for 2020. It's a 24-hour stream. So Brandon, why don't you kick us off?
Yes.
Just getting to talk to Z about this.
Yeah, so Zach, when was your first 24-hour stream, and was it just a trial for you, or was it for charity?
So 3 years ago, I did my first 24-hour charity stream, and it was for St. Jude as well. The year prior to my first 24-hour, I broke it up in 2 days because I was kind of nervous about doing a 24-hour charity stream because I didn't know if I was going to be able to. Because I'll tell you what, even doing 3 of them, this will be my third, but for me, the toughest part for doing a 24-hour charity stream is the last few hours. You just get really antsy. Your legs get like, you get the electric legs, and it's really tough. But when I first did it, it was for charity. I never did a 24-hour charity stream before that. I broke it up in 2 12-hour streams the year before, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. I set some modest goals, and I tried to hit those every year. Last year, I kind of did a steep one because I tried really hard to bring on amazing content creators. I brought on Grenader Jake last year, Damn It to Hell, Young Con. I brought on so many T-Monster. I brought on T-Monster. Talked about
That
Destiny.
guy's a hack.
Yeah, he was the last.
So
Fair
Brandon,
enough.
So, like,
if we're talking about Destiny, you're not allowed to say trial.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
You're right.
that's a banned word on my Twitter.
Fix it in post.
I'll bleep it out. Don't worry. Anyway.
But yeah, so when it's been every time that I've done it, I don't think I would ever do a 24-hour otherwise. I think for me, it's not mentally healthy to do it and physically healthy to do a 24-hour, but for me, it's just, I like to have this momentum of, let's see how much I can raise in 24 hours. And that, like the first year that I did it, when I did 2 12-hour streams, when you end that 12-hour streams, you could potentially have momentum going, and I didn't like losing it. So with the next year coming, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do a 24. I'm just going to go for it. And now I do a lot of prep. I make sure I have lunches. I make sure I have healthy snacks. I make sure I have water prepped. I make sure I have, now granted, and not necessarily the best, but I have some energy drinks, like a couple Red Bulls. I try to leave those for just in case. But yeah, I've been doing it. This will be my 3rd year for specifically St. Jude. I've been in the process of trying to get in contact with the American Thyroid Association. Just last year in 2018, in November, I lost my mom. She lost the battle with cancer, with thyroid cancer. And I've been reaching out with the American Thyroid Association to potentially connect with Tiltify. Tiltify is a platform that allows charity organizations to use their tools to raise money through many different things, not even specifically streaming. And what's nice about Tiltify is you never touch the money, which is makes everything so much easier.
Yes.
The first few years, I would even say, like, back when I was first started streaming, I did a few charity streams, and it puts you in this awkward spot because you would get called, like, oh, you're not really doing a charity stream, you're just trying to get people to donate money to you. Or it'd be, it gets in this weird spot where, like, PayPal takes a percentage of your tips.
Yep.
And when you're doing a charity stream, it puts you in this awkward spot. Is like, technically your goal of, let's say, $1,000 was hit, but really all that's in your PayPal to donate is, let's say, just a rough estimate, like $800. So then you gotta, like, I'm not gonna just be like, okay, we put in 1,000, but really we only put 800.
Yeah.
So then I gotta put another 200 in my own pocket of try to match that 1,000. So Tiltify's tools just makes everything so much easier. They're really friendly. They're really interactive with the community. So I've been using Tiltify. So yeah, 3 years ago is when I did my first 24-hour charity stream, and I'm going to try to do it every year.
I like that it takes the liability out of it too, right? So,
yeah, no, it just...
Yeah, when we did a thing with Joy Osmansky, who voices Failsafe, and the deal was it was a charity she wanted to do. It was Hope for the Warriors, and she had the Destiny 2 bundle that she would autograph and put, whoever won their favorite line of dialogue. And the way that we handled the entries was we reached out to the charity and talked to their executive director, and then said, if somebody makes a donation, just tell us just the confirmation, just proof that they actually made a donation. That counts as one entry into the contest. I don't even wonder how much money that they even donated, much less like be in the middle of the transaction. That's a nightmare from a liability standpoint. So they were great, and they gave us a total at the end, and it was an easier way to do it. And Tiltify does a really good job of just making sure that everything is clean and easy to track. So
it makes it so user friendly.
Very much so. So when it comes to, you were talking earlier about the American Thyroid Association, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
So have you had any positive feedback from them? Have you been able to get?
I have been able to contact. So Tiltify told, when I messaged or basically tweeted at Tiltify, like, hey, is there a way that we could add American Thyroid Association? They reached out to me. Then they gave me an email to reach out to specifically the support team, and I contacted them. We were in a back and forth about, like, yeah, if there's an opportunity, we'll I'm so sorry about your loss, and we'll reach out to the American Thyroid Association and see if we can get them to use our tools. And I unfortunately have not heard anything from them since, and I've reached out multiple times to them about that. I have not heard anything from the American Thyroid Association, which is kind of disheartening a little bit, because like, this is an opportunity to, like, I don't think the thing with thyroid cancer is treatable, and it is I mean, most, when I say treatable, it's just tough because, like, my mom's cancer, she had a very rare form for thyroid cancer, medullary thyroid cancer. It was very rare. It's typically genetic, and sometimes, like with her case, it was unfortunately it wasn't genetic. It was just it was kind of the way the doctor says it's got to start somewhere. Unfortunately, and it started with my mom, and fortunately enough with her, she was tested, and she did not have the gene to pass it down to me. So that was a breath of fresh air to hear that from the doctor. But I haven't heard anything from the American Thyroid Association, and I think there's not a lot of eyes on it. So I feel like they just kind of just do the bare minimum and don't really, expect or even look at platforms like Twitch and Mixer and Facebook and YouTube as an opportunity to potentially do what St. Jude does. And they use content creators so well, or any advertisement for their charities so well, that I think like a lot of organizations don't utilize this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my 2 cents on that would be to stick with them, because the first charity stream I ever did was for Big Cat Rescue, and literally, they're such a bare bones operation. I got accidentally CC'd on one of their communications when I first got in touch with them, and they said another one of these gamers wants to do a charity stream, and I'm just like, thanks, lady, thanks. But then I got another email because the small amount of money that I raised for Big Cat Rescue basically sat in and this is why Tiltify is such great. I was working with GoFundMe, and it just sat in my GoFundMe for like months. And I was like, what is going on? And I sent email after email. Finally, somebody got back in touch with me. Next thing I know, as soon as I got that email, the next day, my GoFundMe was taken care of. Or the GoFundMe for Big Cat Rescue was taken care of. And they said, yeah, we're real sorry. We got, I'm new to the team. I'm new to PR. I'd like to help out. Anytime you want to work with us, please, let's work together. So I was like, okay, this is getting
awesome.
So you're probably working with because American Thyroid Association, you probably don't hear a lot about that type of cancer. It's probably a bare. I mean, I've also worked nonprofits, and when you work with something that not many people heard of, you're kind of working with a very small crew. So just hang in there with them. I would just say continue to get in touch.
I would echo that. And having done worked with a ton of nonprofits, for my old company, I was the community outreach chairman for 6 years. We had to do something every quarter, and I will tell you, every nonprofit is understaffed. Underfunded, but they are usually ecstatic when somebody approaches them with a fundraising effort, because otherwise they have to come up with it themselves. And you're basically trying to do good work, but you're begging for money all the time, and that's the job. So when we went to Hope for the Warriors, their director got back to me and she said, we have this meeting like once a week where we bring up what the fundraising ideas are, and the fact that you guys not only came out of the blue, but you have happy hour in your name. It's going to go over really well in the meeting. So, and it did. They were super stoked to work with us, and they did all, like I said, all the numbers on the back end, so we didn't have to do any of that. But yeah, Big Cat Rescue, they just have such turnover there because half their staff is just interns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we did, among the many things, like we did our first charity stream last year. That I can't imagine doing 24 hours, dude. Like we did the first two with T and Brandon and myself, and then we switched T out for my wife because she streams, and Brandon and I hung on, so we did 4 hours, and it was enough.
It still felt like 20 minutes.
Well, that's because we had a lot of good questions. So it was for Guardians MH, which if you remember the St. 14 Project podcast, they're now Guardians MH because they finally got their 501c3, and because my wife is a health theologist, a clinical hypnotherapist, they had a lot of like mental health questions that were not traditional methods of treatment. So it was cool to get that sort of back and forth. But that was the first thing we did on Twitch, and we haven't touched Mixer or Facebook yet. But so why do you think the content creators on those platforms just flock to doing charity work?
For me, the way that I look at it is I'm very fortunate. If there's an opportunity, I have a beautiful home, I have a beautiful wife, I get to stay home, I get to go somewhere if I need to or want to. I'm very fortunate, and so like for me, like specifically St. Jude, the families that have to go through what they do, they don't get that time of, going to do what they want, or, like the kid can't just have fun at being a kid. And I think for me, like if I get to stay home and I get to play video games and I get to go down to my fridge and grab a snack when I want to, like the least I can do is try to do something good with my time and pay it forward. I'm very fortunate. And I think it's just part of my character. Like I don't know why others, like everybody does it, but I think it's kind of this outlook of like, we're so fortunate. Like now that I am a full-time broadcaster, but I am in this process of, kind of like re-evaluating. And I potentially am probably going to go find a second job just because, Molly and I in the last 3 months have, had to redo our budgets because got married, we went on our honeymoon, now own a house.
Home
There's just
ownership.
things that were, there's just things that are, I love streaming, I love Twitch, but I think with Twitch, it's very organic. Things change and it's hard. I think for me now, I do need some knowledge of what I'm going to make every week. But for me, I'm very fortunate. I get to stay home and I get to stay in my house and I don't really have any health stuff going on, and like I can just pay it forward. I think that's why other content creators get to do that.
If your head and your heart are already in that place, when and if you have children, it's going to be that times 10,000. Yeah. Like that's absolutely the same
flattered.
way. Yeah, no, I mean, when people go, so what do you want for your kid? I just want to have more options than I ever had. And I don't want him ever to have that experience of I'm going to stick my card in this machine and hope I have $20, right? But yeah, that's awesome because we're big pay it forward folks here too. Now, one of the things about your studio is all of us seem to be embracing the shadow box trend.
Yeah.
So T's got his Funkos all lined up on his wall. I've got my snort pigs for my day job. You've got a shadow box full of.
His shadow box is way cooler than any of ours.
Right, and it's all
mine is. Yeah, what is? Mine is
tell us about it.
Is all so. Every time you do typically when you do a charity stream through Tiltify, through St. Jude, I don't know if it's specifically Guardian Con, now GCX, but every year they would send you something. They would send you, I think the first year I did it, I didn't even know it was coming. I just got a package and it said St. Jude on it. And I got this amazing scarf, like just this beautiful, which you can kind of see in the bottom of the shadow box. But it's just this beautiful scarf, and it's just like, I'm not going to wear that. Like, I don't want to ruin that. I want to like hang it up on my wall. So I had it for probably 4 years now. I think I did it when I did my first, 12-hour charity stream, and then the next day. But then I got a shadow box, and my idea is eventually to create a wall. Now, granted, they send a lot of shirts, and I don't know if I necessarily want to hang a bunch of shirts on my wall.
You do not.
But this year, or technically last year, St. Jude and Guardian Con partnered together, and they made, if you raised $500, which granted I didn't know about it until like a couple months ago, if you raised $500, they would send you a track jacket from St. Jude and Guardian Con. And so I made a shadow box of the track jacket, and I put the scarf at the bottom, and my plan was to make a wall of St. Jude or charity stuff. And that's what's in my shadow box. Seriously, that track jacket though, the track jacket they sent was actually better quality than I thought it would be. Like it reminded me of like Under Armour quality. It was really, really nice, but it was too small. And it was honestly, I'm like, okay, I was going to put it in there anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was going to put it in the shadow box.
That's nice. That's really nice. Really nice.
Yep.
So we know you've done a stuff for St. Jude, but have you done fundraising or awareness streams for any other charity?
I've done Trevor Project. I've done Trevor Project for the last 2 years. Activision. She's run Trevor Project. Now, granted, I don't know how many years she's done it, but ever since she came to me, sent me a message on Twitter asking me to be a part of it, she would run charity marathons, basically in the same idea of like Guardian Con, the way that they would do their charity marathons. She would do it for the weekend. So, you do a block, you do like 4 hours. And I'm actually, now granted, I'm not going to give too much information on it, but I am going to be doing another charity stream in the next coming months for another charity, not St. Jude, for another broadcaster that was looking for. Originally, they said that they were looking for affiliates, but my friend Hickerbilly tagged me in a post and saying like they were specifically looking for affiliates that played Sea of Thieves.
Oh wow! Okay.
And, yeah, and Hickerbilly got tagged, and then Hicks tagged me as well. And I just reached out and I said, you know, like I know I'm not an affiliate, but I would still love to be a part of this. So I'll be doing another charity. They told me not to say anything yet because they're still in the process of working on it, but that's going to be another charity. But yeah, I've done charity streams for St. Jude, Trevor Project. This one coming up. Did the gaming for Pits.
That's Aura's.
Now, granted, that was Aura's.
That's Aura's stream.
But
I know his name.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it. No. Quick story about Aura. Don't worry about forgetting his name, because remember, he forgot he even saw us at Guardian Con when he met us with Big Marvinsky one morning. Apparently Aura was so hungover he didn't remember the morning, and we were and he was like, dude, I saw you, and we saw you, and Aura was like, I have no recollection of that. So it happens.
Unfortunately for me, last year, the year before last, at Guardian Con, damn it to hell came into my stream. He's like, hey man, it was so good to see you, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, did I actually see him? I'm like, did I? And to be fair, when Guardian Con happens and you get with your friends, there might be some alcohol.
There might be some alcohol going on. They've changed the name, but you can't make a leopard change its spots.
My cousin,
yeah.
My cousin met a girl in New Orleans. They hung out. He got her number and then found out that they both lived in Pennsylvania. And so he said, can I meet you at such and such place? But he had to be very specific because he didn't remember what she looked like. Just that they had really gotten along.
Right.
And now they're married with 2 kids. So
there you go. You see, wow. nice things can happen in lapses of memory.
Right.
In conclusion, go marry Aura.
There we go. Fair enough. So let's go on ahead and we're coming up on our first break, so let's go on ahead and let's get the details. What is your charity stream goal, ZGphoto? What are you shooting for, and what are the plans for Saturday the 18th, apart from, of course, popping somebody's cherry for the Garden of Salvation?
So the funny thing that you're bringing that up is I right now have my incentives goal for the stream and all that stuff, for the goals and the incentives to have me do funny things or potential giveaways. And I actually have that up, but right now, like my goal is to raise $3,000.
Nice.
The first year we raised, and I'm talking about the 24-hour charity stream. The first year we raised, I think, I can't even remember now. I think it was like $2,300. Last year we raised $2,700. So last year's goal was $5,000. And I really wanted to try to push that like $5,000. We were unable to make it, but I was still like, that's awesome. We still broke the goal of the year prior. This year, I was like, I'm going to be a little bit more modest with my raising of it, but I want to try to raise it every year. So my goal this year is to raise $3,000. We'll have a lot of fun. We're going to be playing Sea of Thieves, doing a Garden Salvation.
Yay!
We'll playing some marbles on stream. We'll be having a good time.
Is anybody shaving their face as one of the incentives? It seems to be the endless. It happened to T.
I'm going to be getting a beard.
Yes.
I'll be taping a beard on my face.
I tell you what, Z. I will be your beard. I do
not want. Oh, you'll shave your beard, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want your beard. Don't ship me your.
Come on, Z.
Hair. Come on.
My hands have been all over your fine muscly back.
It's not like.
Let's just open it up.
That's true.
So here's the deal. I will double down, chat. I will double down because 5,000 must be the magic number. If you raise $5,000 for St. Jude on ZGphoto's stream, I will come on stream and I will shave my beard for ZGphoto and for the kids. $5,000.
Clip it, chat. Clip it.
I'm doubling down, everybody. I'm doubling down. $5,000. $5,000. Z's got to raise $5,000, and I will shave the beard.
Question.
Answer.
Does that mean you're not going to shave anymore? You're not. Does that mean you're just going to let the beard grow?
I'm gonna have to let the beard grow in February because, like I said,
I'll make sure your wife understands.
Yeah,
For a good cause.
it's for the kids. It's for the kids.
For the kids.
For the kids. We now realize my beard has a price, $5,000.
Yep.
Everyone's beard has a price.
Everyone's beard has a. Oh God.
That's what we've learned.
Same.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back from break, we're going to talk a little bit more about ZG, more about his stream, more about what he's gaming, his approach to games, all that right after this break. Okay, we're clear. And now we have the mid-show banter. Yeah, Z, you know what? That is straight off the top of my head. I figured, you know what?
Okay.
Z doesn't have a beard to shave, but I've got a beard to shave. I'm willing
Why
to
do you
shave
gotta
my.
say it out loud?
Well,
I'll shave.
Somebody may be new to the stream and they don't have the stream up. They're just in listening mode. They don't know that I don't have a beard.
Well, already some of the veterans from the last time I shaved my beard, they're in chat right now, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna do it again." Hell yeah! Oh, and look at that. If you go to my chat,
Yep,
Unicorn has clipped it. Yep. Unicorn has clipped it, so it is now.
Oh, he clipped it. Yeah, he clipped it. Okay, perfect.
So make sure you download that. Make sure it's in your back pocket, because if I get that text going, T, better get that razor ready. You know. Because
I'll shave.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Shave your head. Shave your head. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Should I just throw it out there that ZG's not going to be growing a beard for the NFL playoffs for his Red Wings?
I've been growing my no shave November for a very long time.
Okay. Because we do, we do the beardathon during the playoffs.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Bolts got bounced in 4 freaking games. I was going to raise a bunch of money for a big cat rescue, and I didn't raise anything. I raised like $50, but I think Detroit's like 12-30-3 or something like that. So they're not going.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, it's rough. It's rough.
How was that Detroit Red Wings game though? You went to though. Look like you guys
it was
having a blast. Yeah,
it was a blast. It was actually it was. I think Molly's mom's first ever game to a Red Wings game. I don't know if her dad's been to one, but her dad did some work. So the company they worked for prior, he actually did some work inside of the Little Caesars Arena.
Oh wow!
So for him, it was kind of exciting because he's been there. He went to Detroit and he did a lot of meetings there and stuff like that, but he never actually saw the final build of what they did. And like for what he does is like just like a lot of museum stuff or like a lot of interactive not artwork, but like interactive stuff that like when you go into, for example, Little Caesars, you walk through the Myers doorway. There's like a archway that is very interactive. So like it'll have touch screens and it'll have like random things that you can like find random information on Red Wings players and the coaches and how long, the Red Wings have been a team, blah, 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 blah. So like they build these interactive
exhibits.
Oh, see, he's
exhibits.
like a UX UI kind of guy where he's like, okay, we're gonna design touchpads that people can interact with, and you see their stuff in museums and things like that.
He's not the one that designs it. He has a team that designs them. Like he's the higher up. He's the guy he's the one that gets them the projects. Right. He's the one that goes out to try to bid for these projects.
Cool.
And then he bids for them, and then they get them or they don't. They get them, and they he has a design team. They design them and work together with the Olympia media and the Illiches and.
It'd be cool to see if he had seen a game in Joe Louis Arena because the building was old.
I've been to Joe Louis.
Yeah, how different are the two? It's like in Chicago, right? United Center versus
Joe Louis.
Chicago place.
Oh man. It's one thing like with the Joe, it was no matter now granted I feel like I've gotten to a point like we just always look for the same section when we go to a Red Wings game, but when you went to the Joe Louis, you never had a bad seat.
Yeah.
But they were also like the seats were so steep and small.
Yep.
Like that's a reason why you never had a bad seat. Yep. Like it was sad to see the Joe Louis Arena go.
Chicago was the same way. And the Cap Center, which was up in Landmark, Maryland, was similar in that the seats were tiny and very steep, but they were like 4 pillars where if you got those seats, you're like, I can't watch hockey. I can see
anything.
Sucks.
And you see when I think of great stadiums, since we're talking sports ball and we're talking stadiums and things like that, I'm gonna cross genres. My favorite stadium, place to see any kind of sporting event, even though I've heard great things about Nat Stadium.
Nats Park's amazing.
Yeah, but I love going to Camden Yard. Camden Yard in Baltimore, that is a gorgeous effing stadium. It's one of those things where even on bad weather days, you step into the gates into that stadium and you step back in time.
So
it is a Stargate to America's past, and it is like you're stepping back to the heyday of baseball when people played for the love of the game.
I saw a no-hitter in the stadium before they opened Camden Yards in Baltimore. I saw Wilson Alvarez throw a no-hitter for the Chicago White Sox.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was in the old piece of crap further uptown in Baltimore Stadium. But if you like Camden Yards, you will love Nats Park.
And that's what I've been told. Yeah. That's what I've been told. But like the other reason I think I have a soft spot for that is that my dad reached out to me many moons ago and said, "Hey T, I know baseball's not your thing, but I've got tickets to Camden Yard. Do you want to go?" And I said, "Dad, I'd love to go to a ball game with you."
Yep. Because
baseball is one of those sports where if I watch it on television, it's boring as sin. But
not during the World Series, it wasn't.
Not during the World Series. But you go to Camden Yard. You if you're there, there's just if it's a really good game, there's magic in the air. And it's one of my favorite memories of my dad was it was Yankees versus the O's. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of this Baltimore versus New York game, a chant starts rising in the ranks. And it's from the New York fans. And I'm like, what are they chanting? And I lean in on it, and then I hear it. Boston sucks. Yep. Boston sucks. And I turn to my dad and I go, "Dad, Boston's not even playing." And he just smiled and nodded, and he was like, "Yep." and I got the full rundown from my dad because that was my dad's passion was baseball.
AL East. Yep.
And then he turned it into a regular thing. But he would get tickets then because we had such a great time. It was then my brother, my nephew, me, and my dad, and we all went to Camden Yard. But I preferred it when it was just the two of us because we didn't have that because I was not the sports kid when growing up. But the whole point was just being there.
So for us growing up in
for sure.
Philadelphia, it was the Spectrum, which was a shithole. But because we're in the green room, I can say that.
Yeah.
And it was this. So my mom loved baseball because her dad would bring her to games, and then he would bring my brother and me to games. But this was the part of Philadelphia where we would be leaving the game, and he would go, "Here's my wallet. Put it in your front pocket. If someone mugs us, just start running." I'm like, cool, pops. So yeah, it's Nats Park is not like that.
Now, one of the things I do want to, I definitely need to do is take Pip again to another Caps game. Because she loved the Caps.
Well,
I mean, no, just for the experience.
Well,
just for the experience of going to a Caps
Molly's
game.
the same way.
And
the same way.
And the funny thing is that she had only been in the United States for maybe 4 months, and she's watching hockey, and about like 20 minutes in, she suddenly her face lights up. She goes, "Oh, I get it! It's rugby on ice." And I said, "Exactly, baby, exactly." And she just fell in love. She fell in love with it. She fell in love with the Caps experience. She adjusted to that way better than American football. I've told you the American football story. It's ridiculous.
So the problem with the Caps is that before Ted Leonsis bought them, and they drafted Ovechkin and became a good team, there were decades where the experience was, "Oh, hold on, honey, let me put my cell phone down. I think somebody just scored." And it was like they were not this was not a legit hockey town until Ted Leonsis came in and bought the team, and he owns the Mystics too.
Right.
But if you go see a game, like Detroit is a hockey town. It's been a hockey town for decades. Tampa's hilarious because you go to Tampa and it's everybody who's retired from Boston and Detroit and Chicago, but they still love hockey. So it's become a really good hockey town over time. And then you get places like New York City where they love the Rangers until they get scored on, and then they hate the Rangers. So my buddy Dave and I have gone to out of town arenas a ton of times. So I think 19 or 20 different arenas that we've been to. If you get a chance, Z, the one that you would be completely shocked, like everybody knows Vegas is going to be a big production because that's what they do. It's Vegas, right? But if you get a chance,
that Vegas stadium is going to be silly.
Oh, it's amazing. I went 2 Novembers ago. Yeah. If you get a chance to catch a game in Nashville, it is insane. They're super into it. We were there opening night, not last season, but the season before, and it was like if they score a goal, there's like a whole 5-minute thing that gets recited at the expense of the visiting goalie, and it's just and they did it 6 times because it was 6-5 overtime final, and it was just like, wow, how did this town turn into such a friggin' fanatics over hockey? But it was hilarious.
Blind Gamer Steve says that we haven't been to a Leafs game.
No,
And
I'd love to go to a Leafs
yeah,
game.
Yeah, well, I'd love to see any. It would be almost like a rite of passage to see a hockey game in Canada.
Well, you have to
know?
go. You have to
I've been to a Canadian game when they came to Detroit, and I felt like I was at a Canadian game.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Really?
Oh, Molly and I. So there was one time we sat on just to see the different side of an arena. This was back in Joe Louis. I think, yeah, Joe Louis. And we sat on the away side of the Red Wings, so we could see them shoot twice. I think it was so we could see them shoot twice. I felt like I was not in Joe Louis Arena.
feel like you're in Quebec.
I felt
Quebec,
like I
Quebec.
was not at home. Every time Red Wings scored a goal, I did not stand up. Like I felt like I was not supposed to be there. It was such a unique feeling.
So that's
I was going to say, going back to the New Zealand connection.
Yeah.
You know who is apparently huge Blackhawk fans? The All Blacks. The All Blacks. When they came in to Chicago for an exhibition game, they were rolling out the red carpet and they said, "What would you like to do?" And unanimously they said, "We want to go to a hockey game. We want to go to a Blackhawks hockey game." And they were guests of honor. Richie McCaw tried to shoot a puck. He's like, "Thank God I play rugby."
it's another great town to catch a game in.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Well, Chicago's just a great town. Period. Last time we were there was to see the All Blacks play. But while we were there, and this is fresh in my mind because this is actually this is the anniversary of Bowie's death.
Oh
Yeah.
crap.
By
By the way, R.I.P. Neil Peart.
Yeah. Oh shit. R.I.P. on Neil Peart. Yeah. Oh my God. Another great loss. But I was going to say that Bowie, when we went to go out to see.
Oh, I know the story.
Yeah, when we went to go to see the All Blacks play, and Pip was like, "Well, we got to find something to do while we're out in Chicago because we're going to be there all weekend. Serena's going to be with us. We're like, okay." So we're trying to figure out things to do, and Pip just her jaw dropped, and I was like, "What isn't?" She said, "The Bowie exhibit has one stop in the United States," and I said, "Okay, where is it?" Chicago. It was at the Chicago Museum of Contemporary Art, and we we got tickets. We went there, and it was amazeballs. I think Pip is I can honestly say, as much as Pip got me into rugby and as a fan of the All Blacks, she's a bigger fan of Bowie. So it was the best of both worlds. It was a taste of home and David Bowie all in one weekend.
Next trip, did you get to New York? There's a new Bowie exhibit it's in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yep. But
We
that opened, I think,
we need to make that trip. We
last
definitely
spring.
need to
I
make
think that
trip.
opened up. So
Yeah.
But Toronto, I mean, definitely, because you still haven't gone to Stormcrow Manor with Blind Gamer Steve, so we have to do that too.
we need to do that too. We definitely need to do that as well.
They have a random shot generator, Z. So you basically roll a d20 and you have to drink whatever that number is.
Sounds fun.
No, don't roll a 1. It's something totally gross, like Tabasco and something else. But
So it's like mixed drinks in a specific roll. Like if you roll something, it's a weird drink.
yeah,
If you roll a 20, you get like a
Okay.
Long Island iced tea.
No, you roll 20,
Right.
you get like a double-sized cup, and I think you get to choose what your shot is. I had a 13, which was an Admiral Akbar, which was I think cinnamon schnapps and something.
Too bad.
Two totally cinnamony
Yeah, it was
Fireball
super
or
sweet.
something. Yeah, but
Oh,
I had
God.
3 beer Katie Brisky with me, so it was all good.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect right there. So, chat, we are we're in the middle of what is known as the mid-show banter. This is the stuff that doesn't get on the podcast, obviously, because we've been talking about sports and alcohol. And although some people would say, depending on who you're gaming with in Destiny, that can happen.
Follow them. to
I
glory.
still remember a fateful Halloween when I'm playing Destiny with Z, and I hear this very timid voice say, "Do you do shots, T?" And I killed a bottle of rum that night.
Yeah, and I also saw. I'm pretty sure that was the same night that I almost saw you get murdered.
Yeah,
So-
because I was drunk. That's my defense. I was drunk, and and Pip was giving me shit. Pip was heckling off the camera, and I went to go say, "Shut your kiwi mouth," and I went, "Shut your ass," and I stopped.
Oh yeah.
and
oh,
she
yeah.
went, what? And Z was just loving it on the other end. He was loving it on the other end.
That was the best. That was the best stream I ever watched.
I don't think they give you affiliate postmortem.
They do not.
Yeah,
They
okay.
do not. They do not. But yeah, if you got questions for Z, you got stuff off
Do you do
off
shots?
topic.
It's funny.
Yeah, I know.
We had over Christmas. My wife's uncle. She turns to her and goes, "Do you drink whiskey?" Holy Jesus! Really? What? Who are you? So yeah.
But this is the part of the show where if you show up, you go on ahead and you get this extra bit. The other good news too is when you show up. When you show up for the stream, there's an after show where if there's any questions that we didn't get to that you wanted to ask, you can go ahead and ask our guest ZG. As you know, from listening at the beginning of the podcast, Z is a friend of the show. He's been on the show a couple of times, and Z is actually the first person to help me appreciate a raid. We never finished it. But man, we almost got to the end.
Still one of my favorite raids.
I know, still one of my favorites. It was the Rise of the Machines. Rise of the Machines and
Wrath of the Machines.
Wrath of the
Wrath of the
Machines. Thank
Machine.
you. I'm thinking of Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron, Wrath of the Machines, and man, what a fun time that was. Even though I didn't know my jump mechanics then, I think I got a better grasp of them now. I hope. But Z was super patient, and then the one that we completed, I remember the one we completed was the Crota's End, which was probably one. It was more. I think if we were to classify it now in D2 terms, that wouldn't be a raid so much. It was a raid layer because it's super compact.
Strike.
It's
Welcome back, Brandon.
It was a strike in D1. and
Welcome
it's a
back.
strike now.
Welcome back
Yeah.
to. He finally got on a topic that he could talk about. Is Z in Twitch for Dummies by any chance?
Yes, he is. Z is in Twitch
I
for
am.
Dummies. He's in Podcasting for Dummies. And thank you for reminding me. I need to make sure before Z leaves, I've got to get a picture of me talking to Z because I need a photograph of me talking to someone in Discord. Z now holds the honor of being in every Dummies book that I've written
He's got
except for YouTube
Wait,
for Dummies.
am I going to
Junior.
be in a picture? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I'm going to be a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to go put my makeup on before we do this. Okay? I thought this was going to be a podcast. All of a sudden, there's cameras. I was not ready.
Z, you're getting the Dummies hat trick.
Yeah, you're getting the Dummies hat trick. You're going to be in Discord for Dummies, Podcasting for Dummies,
Yeah,
and
heck yeah.
Twitch for Dummies.
That's why I brought it up.
So that's yeah. And actually, the funny thing is the section that Z is in the section that Z is in Podcasting for Dummies needs an entire rewrite because I was basically saying, are you podcasting when you stream? Not quite. Well, now I was talking to my co-host, my co-writer of the book, and he's like, yeah, we got to completely rewrite that. Because so many,
It's not me.
it's so
I know
so many.
He leaned this way. It's not me.
Yeah, so many podcasters are now basically using YouTube and Twitch as their distribution platform.
Sure.
And the old man that's shaking his fist at a cloud basically goes, you're not using RSS. It's got to be a podcast. Now it's like, you know what? Podcast schmodcast. I mean, if you want to use RSS, you can use RSS as your distribution. But because I just remember the time before you even thought about streaming, Zach. There was a time where people were trying to podcast live, and it was. You ever seen historical footage of Civil War surgeons? It's kind of like that, but more painful.
Okay.
But more painful.
Okay.
Yeah. Bite down on this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was a freaking mess. It was a freaking mess. And now, I mean, I do sound like that, like the old podcaster, old man Morris, when I go, you young streamers don't know how good you've got it.
Yeah, we do.
You just don't. No, you don't.
We do have
The
it pretty good.
the four people sitting at the table next to me going through all the dating apps that they're signed up for, like it's a generational divide that I think is hilarious.
Yeah. But
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So what we're going to be doing, chat, is we're going to be segueing back into the show, and then of course you'll be able to get this from the website happyhourfromthetower.com. And that is where you can subscribe. We are also on Spotify. We are now on Spotify, which is very cool to say.
We are not on iTunes. I know we keep saying we're on iTunes.
No, we're on iTunes.
We're on Apple Podcasts. It's
Oh, I'm
no
sorry.
longer called iTunes.
That's right. It's Apple Podcasts now. Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Because Man, Apple's hate. It's a reluctant love story between Apple Podcasts and.
I'm not going back and re-recording any of the intros and outros I did that
Screw
said that
that,
were on
no.
iTunes. I'm not recording the Creative Comments
They'll
thing
figure
every
it out.
episode either.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
So when we come back in, what does it sound like?
So when we come back in, Zach, it's the same drill as before. You won't hear the music, but you'll be able to get the timing because there are no drop-ins this time. I'll pop in and I'll go, and we're back with the second half of Happy Hour from the Tower. I'm T,
I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
and that's when you come in, and you just go, and I'm Zach, or I'm ZG, or I'm Z, whatever you want to say.
Fail safe. And I'm better than you.
I'm better than you.
You can even
dear.
use your you can even use your fancy schmancy. There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Either of those work for the upcoming weekend because it's Mid-Atlantic leather.
There. Yish. Yish. Yeah. All right.
I got some buttons for that one somewhere.
All right. So just so you all know, in chat, first off, thank you all very much for joining us. We really do appreciate you guys being here. Avi Gamer, yeah. If some of us do appear laggy, I'm streaming off of an 11-year-old Mac, and for some reason tonight it has decided to basically test me in every technical way possible. So excuses. Hey, you want to spring in for a brand new stream machine? You go right ahead. Until then, I'm
Mac is a computer, so he's not streaming on an 11-year-old. He's streaming on an 11-year-old
Yeesh.
computer. Let's just
Yeesh.
clean that up a little bit.
I know a guy named Mac.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the problem.
We're just spiraling downward here. Okay, so I'll segue us back in. Chat, if you got questions for Z about gaming or anything, that's what the second half of this podcast is going to be all about. Feel free to chime in. I will bring in the comments into the interview. Again, we're talking about ZGphoto. We're going to do another quick plug for Z on the 18th. On the 18th of this month, yes, this week. This Saturday, Zach is going for a 24-hour stream. He has got a $3,000 goal. A $3,000 goal for the kids. But if you clear $5,000, and you can't hit $5,000, you got to clear $5,000. If you clear $5,000, this comes off again. I'm doing this for the kids.
Throwing the last dollar.
Yep.
Wait a minute. You said clear? We
Yeah.
can't even hit five. Oh,
No,
my.
got to clear it. Got to clear it. Got to clear it.
Oh,
All right, everybody. In 3, 2. And we are back with the second half of Happy Hour from the Tower. I'm T.
I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
I'm ZGphoto.
There you go.
He didn't octave it.
Nope, he handled it. He handled it fine.
Ah.
I was waiting for the octave, but it didn't happen. All right.
And by the way, still,
Oh.
yep.
We redo that?
You could.
you know what? You know what? For you, yes. For you,
can
yes.
put it-
We'll do
No,
it again.
stop it right-
No,
stop
we're
it
gonna do it
right
again. Here we go. Ready? Ready? Go. Ahead. In 3, 2. And we are back with the second half of Happy Hour from the Tower. I'm T.
I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
I'm ZG.
oh no, it didn't work. ZGphoto.
Perfect. First try.
So unnecessary.
First try.
Also, it's
It's a trap.
the middle of January. I'm cool still with your Christmas lights for
Oh,
like
fantastic.
one more week.
Fantastic.
You're welcome. Shut up.
Okay, so
God.
Oh, you think that was bad? Yeah, look at the next question. It's,
yeah, it's all you. So
It
come
is
on,
all me.
it's time. It's time. It's time. You know what you got to do. You know what you got to do.
Yeah, you gotta get Swifty. You
gotta get Swifty in here. Okay.
I'm gonna have to
Oh,
send you.
dear.
I'm gonna have to send you Mr.
Oh,
Music.
dear. What is dancing on my screen right now?
The whitest thing you'll ever see, ZG.
This is
The
what you
whitest
see
thing
when
you'll
you
ever see.
die.
Oh, shoot.
He didn't tell you, but he's also writing Disco for Dummies.
Disco for dummies. Yeah, that's going to be the follow up. Kick us off, Brandon. Kick us off. Let's go.
Chapter 1: Platform Shoes.
God. Zach, we're starting the second half with a tougher question. What do you think is the current state of Destiny?
Okay. I love Destiny.
Brace, brace, brace.
I love Destiny so much.
Feel there's a big butt coming.
I was actually enjoying a lot of the story for Saint 14. I actually really was very intrigued by the Saint 14 story. Wasn't a huge fan of how they time gated it, but I enjoyed the story.
That came up in the
Destiny
previous one. Yeah, came up in the previous podcast.
Destiny as a whole right now, I think there's getting to a point where there's just too many weapons and too many there's too much that's in it. And like at this point, like I haven't played in probably the last 2 weeks. Besides that exotic, that's a mini 1K voice that I've been seeing memed everywhere. I haven't had any urge to play because the sundial, cool. Sure, the weapons are all right that came with Saint 14 story. I love the auto rifle, but as a whole, I started losing interest again. And what's funny is, if Hicks here, it'd be funny if he was here for it. But he's like, it's literally the curse of Osiris. It's like Osiris comes back into the story, and it just a lot of people are getting to this point again where they're bored. Wow. And this is literally what happened. What was a year ago? 2 years ago? I can't even remember anymore.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And it's so bad. It's just I even have to say that I enjoyed the Vex offensive more because not specifically the event, but that content drop, because I even like the moon was part of it. Like I love the idea that you would be, the Vex would spawn in the moon. You could do that event. That's cool. Sure. Weapons to me were kind of ugly, but they were cool. But this Saint 14 story was the best part of the entire thing. But otherwise, content for me in Destiny is at an all-time low again. It's hard for me to sign on. It's hard, like besides the Salvation raid, I don't have any urge to sign on whatsoever.
See, Z and I, last time we did a run, we were actually talking about this. We were talking about, he's like, I'm worried that they're not going to do anything else with the Saint 14 storyline after he shows up in the hangar. And I said, no, I'm going to put my faith in Bungie. I'm going to put my faith in Bungie. I think there's more story to come because I got a lot of questions, and I'm really kind of hoping that they'll do it.
It's Exotic Quests and Empyrean Foundation. Then
Yeah.
That's
and
I heard that quest was just easy. It was super easy.
It was a little rough. And oh hey, Activision, we were just talking about you. Glad to have you in stream. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think I think it's a shame because the thing that I think it's funny because when D2 first came out, people were saying there's not enough stuff to do. Yeah. There's not enough stuff to do. Now it feels like the folks at Bungie are overcompensating and throwing a lot of stuff at us. And then I'm reminded of stuff that I didn't get a chance to do because I was doing all this other stuff. Like perfect example is the not just the Pit of Heresy, but the Altar of Sorrow. I love doing the Altar of Sorrow. It brings back that vibe of Archon's Forge even harder than some of the previous stuff that they've tried. Yeah. And it's so much damn fun. It is so much, and yet nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. And
it just kind of popped up.
Yeah.
They never said anything about it. It
just
appeared.
And it's one of the coolest things I think you can do on the moon right now. I really think that and it's also kind of disappointing because I felt like there was a lot to the story of Saint 14. And I still think there's a lot, but whatever Bungie's waiting on, I think it's dangerous that they're waiting on it because
I'm going to be honest for me too.
Okay.
Like to carry off with that is for the Saint 14 story, besides like the excitement of coming to D2 and seeing how like we lost our powers, even though that whole story took about 30 minutes for us to get our powers back.
Yeah.
The Saint 14 story was the first story that I will have to say like throughout the entire life of Destiny so far, for me personally, was the first story that I was just truly interested in. Like the Osiris, I was really looking for the Osiris story. I was like, that's gonna be really cool to see him and like, his just like his idea around him was just amazing. But then the story was just lackluster. Saint 14 story was actually really good. But then it was time gated. So you do the story once and then you have to wait a week again to do the next part. And then it was the only reason why the story took about 3 weeks to do is because they time gated it. And then otherwise we would have had it done in a day and it would have been potentially boring. Who knows? But I don't know. Bad.
If you could Monday morning quarterback the this season, what would you do? What would you add differently? Like, there's no raid, there's no dungeon, right? It's Mercury, which that's fine.
We have sparrows. You can put sparrows on Mercury.
Right?
Now.
Yeah.
Honestly, like at this point, I think I would piggyback off of like they're overcompensating. Like I think at this point, like they're trying to add so much. Like I forgot who brought it up. It might have even been Aura. But like now it's getting to a point we have so much stuff that like you don't even care when you get it anymore. You just delete it. It's like you just have so much stuff now.
The obelisk weapons, I think, are a prime example of that. And the fact that you can either pick your poison. Are you going to grind for the obelisk stuff, or are you going to grind for the baked goods? Because they take forever. This is this is the most grindy that I've felt in the game.
Yeah, I really
honestly for me,
really felt the grind.
When I started doing the obelisk, like doing the bounties, like you get a bounty. They're like, oh, kill 100 scorn, sure. Honestly, to me, it was so much better to just go inside the sundial and have the obelisk linked to the sundial and just pick the weapon from there. And like sometimes I saw it was DBS who actually posted this on Twitter. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but sometimes if you notice at the end of the sundial, your entire parts of your team do not get teleported into that room. So in the game, they think that the entire team's not there yet. So if you get teleported to the room where you get to select your weapons, you can select 2.
Yeah.
So like you can basically select 2 before your entire team gets teleported to the area. So as soon as they get teleported in, you can't select anymore. So you could eventually, like for me, I was farming a ton for that auto rifle. So all I did was like, come on, teleport me in first. Teleport me in first. Teleport me in first.
Yeah.
I'd get teleported in first. I could grab 2 weapons, and then I could, dismantle both of them because they were bad rolls.
Yeah.
And like just honestly, I don't know. I think they're just at this point, there's so many weapons. There's so many pieces of armor. Like at this point, I'm not even interested because I'm gonna delete them in the next month or so. Like it's getting out of hand. Like I'm a hoarder already in Destiny, and it's at a point now. Like I'm not even a hoarder. I just delete it all. I just delete. I don't even know what they could add.
And I really wish they would go back to some of the epic storytelling that they were doing, because like I said, I said it last week, I really feel like that the storytelling they were doing on Shadowkeep, the whole Eris Morn story, that was just gripping. It was gut-wrenching. It was emotional. And that's what I was kind of hoping with Saint 14 and Deep Fish. And the writer in me is asking this question too. The fact that Saint 14 is there means that there is some sort of paradox going on. And
exactly.
Deep Fish just said, how is it that Saint 14 is alive, but Cade 6 isn't? And that, because you've created this paradox. There's got to be some type of give and take with time travel.
No.
See, I also think too, like for me in this mindset too, that how is this like Destiny God just come back into our tower, and now that's just normal.
And everyone's like cool, great.
Like he hasn't, Destiny's been out. He's been a part of the story. We've seen him. We see this, the Vex were basically, looking at him as like one of the best, guardians out there. They'll even though they killed him, I don't even know what the word would be to for that.
They created a shrine for him. They created a shrine.
They created a shrine for him, and now all of a sudden, like.
He's back.
Saint 14's story. He's just back. Yeah. Like he's just back feeding pigens.
The pigeons are fired up.
The pigeons are stoked. The pigeons are super
stoked.
Waiting.
They've been waiting.
That's the writer and the storyteller in me coming out, because, and personally, and this may really piss off some of the hardcore Cade 6 fans. I don't want Cade 6 to come back.
No.
He can't because that would completely negate Forsaken.
Well, that and. Logically, does no one understand that Saint died in the Infinite Forest? That's why we can bring him back.
Okay.
It's because the entirety of the Infinite Forest is a different timeline, a different instance of time that the Vex have created. Cade died in the Reef.
Yes.
And we watched it happen. And we're not there's no way to change our timeline that we are playing in to go back.
But we can change this,
because Saint died in the
We need. Well, then the thing is, I think we need more in that, and we also needed to have more of a reaction, because the fact that Saint 14 has just popped into the tower and everyone was like, "Cool." I'm like, no, there should be a bigger reaction, especially from the Vanguard. And
Exactly,
and, you know,
exactly,
And
exactly.
I would have liked to have seen something
You
like
get
that.
a prompt from Zavala.
Oh, you did it again, Guardian. Nice job. I was
Well,
like, okay,
come on,
you're welcome.
Come on. I mean, you know.
And then you get 4 bounties from him every day, which are all like kill Cabal.
No problem, Avi. Thanks
then-
a lot for sticking around, though. Thanks a lot for sticking around.
You do get Shax does sing to you eventually, but I don't know if you've
Yeah.
done that quest or not, Zach.
No,
That-
haven't.
No.
That was fun. That was fun.
It was.
That was fun.
And
that
that was
fun.
even that one was like, oh man, it's super nostalgic if you played back then.
Yeah.
But like for your mom who didn't play back then, she's like, what am I doing? I'm just looking for 10 corpses.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Pretty much.
Twilight Gap is a Crucible map now.
It's always been a Crucible map. That's
Not
the beautiful
in D2.
thing. No, not in D2.
They added it with
Yeah.
Shadowkeep, but
Right.
like the fact that you go to a map that had a nostalgia factor that they brought back last season
Mm-hmm.
for that quest, and then they do that quest, where it's like, oh, here you're back at Twilight Gap, and now go find dead
Right.
robots.
Yeah.
For
Frames.
no reason.
Well, yeah.
And they could have done any other place of significance.
So it's weird because we have this push pull, right? Where part of it is the activity / the story. How good is the story?
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is the emotional ties to the characters. Because they did this before, right? With Ada in Black Armor, we were like, we don't care about her. And oh, by the way, the activities weren't great either. So that was a miss on both parts. The real tragedy about this is some of the activities are cool. They're okay. They're not fantastic.
they're cool in a lore standpoint.
But Saint
Yeah,
14 is
yeah.
such a well-respected character, and then they tied him to
and the
this
sto-
season.
and the story
was-
missions,
it was
the
a
story
hiccup.
missions that they did with
Yeah.
Saint 14.
Martyr Mind is my favorite Destiny mission.
Oh, it's
ever.
amazing. Amazing.
I'm not like
Yeah.
over. It's,
But-
yeah.
But to come back on the heels of the Shadowkeep storyline, which was,
Yeah.
I think,
No, but it's worse because every time that they launch a grindy DLC,
Yeah.
it's Christmas.
yeah,
Black Armory, Curse of Osiris, Season of Dawn. Those have all been over the Dawning, which is a grind in itself. And the fact that they took their break, it's Christmas and
It's Christmas.
holiday season.
It's
I
Christmas,
can't blame
yeah.
them for taking a break.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Don't do
Yeah.
that
Put the
on-
game on autopilot.
Do
and then,
not give us a grind with the obelisks and then set up the Dawning, where
Hardest grind was getting Earth Obelisk started.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
because
that
of
was
the
the hardest
glitch.
grind.
Because of
and
that
they
glitch.
left.
Yeah.
No one was in the
no,
offices, so
right.
they
No.
couldn't fix the bug, and they still
They
haven't
still- they
fixed
still
the
haven't-
they're
bug.
fixing it
Oh,
Tuesday.
they're gonna
I know.
and they're gonna nerf Wish Ender, which is totally that's for another discussion for another time. I really wish they'd leave Wish Ender alone. It's finally
kill
an
it.
exotic.
Make
Leave
it
it
take
alone.
special ammo there.
They're fine. Bingo.
Fixes
Done.
it.
Done. Okay. Steve, I would love to get to to your question, but we're gonna. I want to move on to something else because this is something that I have gotten a lot of questions about because of my past involving pirates, pirate fiction. People are like, "OT, you got to be all over this game." This game, Sea of Thieves, and I'm just like, the only reason I ever go into this game is if Z is like, T, let's game. And I said, great. And I fire up Destiny and I look and he's playing Sea of Thieves. So I've got to ask, Zach, ZGphoto, what is the draw of Sea of Thieves?
For me,
Yeah.
I think the draw to Sea of Thieves is that is to me the most unique feeling game that I have ever played. I have never played a game where like I'm firing cannons, I'm firing myself out of a cannon, I'm sailing a boat,
Or
I have
dropping
these
your friend
pirate-
off in a dinghy in a complete unknown.
Or I'm saying, hey, look it, there's a special fish if you cast off this rowboat. Gullible. But for Sea of Thieves, like I think for me when I first started playing is when it was the most like it's still a lot of fun to me. But with Sea of Thieves, when you first are starting to learn the game, I think that's the best part of it. It's just so unique the way that it's played. It's open map. You know, you have this feel of you know you're on this boat, and then all of a sudden you see across to another island there's another boat, and then you get to have this interaction with people. Now, granted, it's open mic, so you get toxic players all the
yeah.
time, but
People who get
Sea of
pissed
Thieves
because you steal their stuff. Dude, you're a
I
pirate.
may or may not steal their loot. Yeah. Oh, come on, man. I've been playing all day. Why would you steal my loot? Well, the game is called Sea of Thieves, so I'm playing it as described. So, it's so unique. I've played so many shooter games in my life. Call of Duty, SOCOM, Destiny. Like my main game that I've played in my life has been first-person shooters. But to have a first-person pirate game where it's first person, it's got guns, you know, you got a sniper, but you're a pirate somehow. But it's so unique. It's so much fun. The interactions that you can have. Tucking, which is you're basically a stowaway on another person's boat, is my favorite thing to do in Sea of Thieves because it's just it's the idea that you get to interact with these players without them even knowing you're interacting with them. Like you're hiding on their boat, they're doing this, activity, they're bringing the loot on the boat. I think it was on Friday or Thursday. These pirates were bringing on loot and they were organizing it to a T. They were putting everything in a certain spot. They were lining it up. They were filling things up. And I'm like, only do they know that I'm about to steal it from them.
that was heartbreaking.
It can be now, as somebody that I have never had that happen to me, but I understand the frustration. But you do not. The only thing that you lose out of Sea of Thieves is your time. If you put time into the game and somebody does that to you, you've lost time. You don't lose rank. You don't lose gold. You don't lose any reputation. But Sea of Thieves is so, I think, entertaining in this idea that like you can literally just lay on somebody's boat. They do not know you're there. They can run by you. They can basically stand on you. They can bring all this loot on the boat and they have no clue that you are there. And I think that's the most entertaining. And like when somebody can they're like, how can they not see you? Well, don't give them credit. Sea of Thieves is so good.
There's got to be somebody muted in chat right now who's going, it's ship, not boat. It's ship, not boat.
Listen.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, because nobody's ever called it a pirate boat. So it's
right.
You don't know that.
That's true. Okay, so let's another thing that comes up in your stream often is Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so apparently you've been a Pokemon master for how long?
Since I was probably 6 years old.
Pokemon Underoos and all that.
Yeah, I was.
Don't answer that.
I had the OG stuff, and I
think he's still wearing Pokemon Underoos. Just to be honest, I mean, I think he's got one of those little little Pokeball right near.
Comment.
Just saying.
He's got a.
I got two of them. Bro. Two Master Balls.
Molly, I choose you.
Pokemon fanny pack.
But all of it, I literally still have all of my Pokemon cards, all of my Pokemon games. Like when I was a kid, like I wasn't necessarily thinking ahead truly, but every electronic that I got, everything that I got via Pokemon, like I tried to keep in pristine condition because like I knew when I got older, I'd want to see those or maybe potentially play them. And like I tried to keep like every system that I have my Segas, my Sega, all my Game Boys, my PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I have my Nintendo 64. I have all of my systems, and they all still have the cords, and they all still work. I even plugged in my N64 probably last year, and I had to go to make it work. Like it still have to do that.
I got a ColecoVision in the garage if you want to add to your collection.
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean, that was my first.
I'll bring it to you. You can have it.
My neighbor, when I was still in college, he wasn't necessarily a hoarder, but he would go out and basically garbage pick to have garage sales. And there was one day, like, I mean, not even joking. He would have like 300 duplicates of Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I'm just not, or Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter, I literally went to my neighbor. I was like, hey, he's like, if you guys see anything, because we became really close with him. He's like, if you see anything, just let me know, and you can just take it. Like, just take it. So I actually got Molly all of the movies of Harry Potter, but he had a Nintendo, the original Nintendo. And I found it and I was like, I don't know if this is necessarily worth anything, but I was like, I don't even know if it works, but I was like, it's still got all the cords. It has Duck Hunt, Mario connected, and it has the gun. And everything works. And I said, how much are you trying to, like, how much do you want for this? He's like, well, whatever you want to offer. I was like, no, this is your garage sale. You tell me, because I'm not going to give you a higher offer. And he goes, $15. I was like, I'll be right back. And I literally I bought this Nintendo that still works, has all the stuff for $15.
Wow. Unreal.
Yeah, Pokemon. I have been a Pokemon master my entire life.
So Zach, I know I said this to you on stream. I'm going to say it again. You've got to see, being the hardcore fan
I know.
You've got to see Detective Pikachu. I took Sonny to go see it, And it was about 30 minutes in, I realized what Detective Pikachu was. It is Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the Pokemon generation. Because, I heard Sonny rattling off all these different, I was like, oh, that's that. Oh, that's from this one. That's what she is rattling off all the deep trivia. And I'm like, oh my God, this was me when I was playing when I was watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I'm like, there's Betty Boop. There's this character from that Warner Brothers. There's this character. I mean, it was just a parade of my childhood. And I get it. And even Pip was having a tough time adjusting to it because she kept saying, I hear Pikachu, but it's Deadpool. I'm like, yeah, it's
I know.
It's
Yeah,
Pikachu.
yeah,
It's
for sure.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
But you roll with it.
Yeah.
You roll with it. And
Yeah.
but it is brilliant. And if you approach it, if you're not a Pokemon fan, but if you approach it as the next generation's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that movie will make so much sense to you. And it's really well done. It's really, really well done. So if you had
Pokemon for me, like as I got older, obviously I started to drift away from it, but I was always a huge fan. But like for me now, it's like I don't know half of these gens Pokemon. Like they're just the most random thing. Like there's one that's like it can literally become like a lawnmower or a washing machine,
Ditto.
or like and it just like why? Like I get that they're probably running out of ideas. Eventually, they're gonna just hit this wall of like, oh, you know what? Let's make a Pokemon that can become a washing machine. It's just like that kind of. And but then it's like, then I look at like, but then back in your day when you were the originals, you had a Pokemon that was a magnet. Like you literally had a magnet.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Let me
fair enough.
say this: it would still not be the best game that we've ever played that included a washing machine. There's a game called King of the Hat, and it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like Joust in that it's like a sideways, side to side combat game.
Arcade.
Yeah, but so you have your character and your character's hat, and your hat is your soul. So you can either throw your hat as a weapon, or you can keep it, and if someone hits your hat, you die.
Okay.
And so there's a pirate, and there's a cowboy, and there's all those things you would think, and then there's a washing machine with a laundry basket for the hat, and it is hilarious.
Wow.
The game is amazing. Yeah, it's so good. And we played it at Super Smash Con the first time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh my God, we were laughing so hard. If you've never imagined, like Zach's unexpected joy at playing a pirate game where you can, stow out and somebody else actually does inventory for you before you steal their stuff. If you can not, just imagine, like, I'm playing a washing machine right now and having the time of my life. So, King of the Hat, definitely worth checking out.
So, so if you had to pick a Pokemon, the one Pokemon that your go-to Pokemon, what would it be, Zach?
I was always a Charizard fan growing up. Charizard is just a lizard that can, or basically a dragon that can spit fire. It was the coolest thing. So I was always a Charizard fan. So I would go back to my original roots and go Charmander.
You've got it. The Charizard scene in Pokemon Detective Pikachu is ridiculously cool.
It's
ridiculously cool.
It's a dragon. I don't know what else you would expect.
It's ridiculously fun.
I didn't know anything about Pokemon until we had Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it was
like
Brawl.
it just, my sad story is when I was in, I think, 5th grade, me and my buddy were not like really sad, but just sad because I got it stolen. But in 5th grade, I was like, I got this Charizard. I got the holographic Charizard, and I took it to school, and I was showing my friends, and I put it in my backpack, and then it was gone. And I was so sad about it. So sad about it.
Now you know how that other guy feels in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Listen here, okay? No, that is not even close. That is not even close.
It's pretty close.
Not even close.
Nice.
So it was just right. It was right there.
It was.
No.
I'm sorry to mock your childhood trauma.
No, you're not.
No,
No, you're not.
I'm
No,
not.
you're not.
I have held on to that my entire life.
Oh,
Did you inventory it first?
Probably. I put it in like a fancy pocket of my backpack, probably.
Brandon, save us. Save us, Brandon.
We gotta completely switch gears for the question I'm supposed to ask. when you first came on our podcast, you were a part-time streamer, but now you've gone full-time. So what have been the challenges that you've had to face as a full-time streamer?
Honestly, the challenges is
Getting your loot.
mostly monetary. Like it's streaming. Streaming is such a content creating is such a hard thing to specifically, and I'm gonna just relate it to Twitch because that's my only time that I've ever had. Besides, like back in the day, I did photography, but knowing how much money I'm going to make every month is stressful. And like people say like, well, you don't stream for money. No, of course not. Like you don't assume you're going to make a ton of money. Like just don't assume that. When I took the chance to go full time, I was in a spot that like, you know, my mom was very sick. I took a break from my job and I said, you know what, screw it. Like I took this break. I'm going to take this opportunity to try to, cause with streaming, I have this opportunity to just work my own schedule, work my own hours. I have this idea that like, okay, my mom's sick. I can't work in my other job. Might as well stream as much as I can while I can and see what happens. And I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go full time. And honestly, like it just, the stressors of money has probably been the toughest thing. Like I enjoy it so much because it's like a dream. Like you get to, it's more than just gaming, but you do get to game. Like gaming is my job. And that's such a dream to me. And like, that's partially why I do so many charity streams, because it's like I get to do something that like I'm so lucky to be able to do this, but it's still very stressful because then I still gotta, when I went full time, I put a lot of weight on Molly's shoulders because she's the one that is really, she's the breadwinner. She's the one that's carrying everything, and like she's got the salary that we know how much we're gonna make every month. She's the one that has the amazing insurance. So a lot of pressure's on her shoulders. Because with my job with streaming, I don't know how much I'm going to make every day.
Pretty much you're a full-time entertainer.
Yeah.
Whether it's you're a writer, whether you're an actor, whether you're a musician, you know, and you do it for the love, but you also have to make sure that that bills are covered.
It's still a business.
Yeah, it's still a business. You still got to run it like a business. And I think that's what a lot of new streamers don't get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've talked about this before. Like, before I got partnered, I was doing viewer raids every day. And it got to a point where like my stream, it was so exciting to sign on because this was back in D1, and I still really enjoyed the content. I was doing viewer raids every day, and it was just so exciting to start my stream and have 30 people show up, and I'd be like, Molly, look at this! Like I've been live for a minute, and there's 30 people in my chat saying hi to me. Like this is just such an awesome feeling. But then when it got to a point where Destiny 2 came out, I had a ton of momentum. I was doing viewer raids every day, but unfortunately Leviathan, no weapons rolled, no armor rolled. You could get guns from the clan bounties. It became just such a tedious thing to do. I would wake up and didn't want to stream. I would wake up, didn't want to game. And I was like, that's not good. Because if I'm trying to pursue this, I need to like be in the right mindset. So I started, and that's when, for me, I took a turn to more variety. And when I say variety, I mean like quote unquote like 3 games. Like I play 3 things: Sea of Thieves, Destiny, and Pokemon. And I took the turn of doing more variety, and it's been mentally healthier, physically healthier for me, but like mentally still has that pressure of like, I had so much momentum doing viewer raids. I was considered the Nightfall guy. But it was so stressful for me to sign on because there was so much to do in Destiny, but like I was stuck doing one thing for 8 hours a day, and I would maybe get 2 raids done in 8 hours. And it's just like, that was so tiring. You're exhausted, just mentally, physically, emotionally. And then when I went to variety, it was so much better for me, but the business side took a hit. And I, in turn got less viewers. I still had a lot of people, hey, Z, when are you going to do viewer raids? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to do viewer raids. Honestly, Z, when are you going to start doing raffles for Nightfalls again? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I am. Then eventually I was like, you know what, screw it. Like, I'm not going to do that anymore. Because it turned into like, then also it became people weren't there for me. People were there for just get stuff done. And it just didn't feel good.
And that was something I noticed too, is that and I don't mind saying I'm part of that community, because I remember when I first came on to Z's, Z stream, I was like, oh wow, this guy could maybe take me through a raid, but I stuck around. I stuck around for not just the raids, but also for the Nightfalls and for the Sea of Thieves transition, and then for that ridiculous. There was one afternoon, Z, where you did marbles. That is a ridiculously fun game.
What did I do?
You were doing marbles.
Oh, marbles.
And I'm like, what a ridiculous game. I need to watch more of this. And
it's it's so tough. It was like it's one of the most like competitive games you have no control over.
Man, people are just really
like,
into
come on,
it.
Marble, go!
I know. I saw myself fly off the edge. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the thing is that I became part of the community. And while maybe the business side of your stream took a hit, the stream itself I felt like got stronger because the people,
for sure, absolutely,
and the community rallied around you, and I've seen it, and that's the thing is that if you've got the community there, I think that's the foundation that you want.
Yeah,
is
for
the
sure.
community.
Absolutely.
It's a rough go, but I've been watching you. We've all of us been watching you since the affiliate days, and it's great to see you succeeding. And we just, it's always great to have you on the show.
It's exciting. No, it is exciting. Yeah. So for full time, it's stressful now because I took a turn in a different direction and went more variety. So business has gone down a little bit, but mentally and physically, it's been better for me in turn.
So in closing, chat, we want to say again, it is got to mark the calendars. For those of you listening to the podcast, mark the calendars this Saturday. This is going up before Saturday, obviously, but Saturday the 18th. It is an all-day, 24-hour stream with ZGphoto for St. Jude's. And Z, is there anything in closing you want to talk about your stream? What do you got planned? What's the deal, and where can people find you?
So the plan is specifically my main objective is to raise money for St. Jude. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZGphoto from 9 a.m. to typically 5 p.m. Eastern. But like for me, my biggest thing is if you're listening, if you haven't followed me yet, like you don't even have to come to my stream. I have a command. If you want, I can post it. I already have the campaign launched for January 18th. You can already start donating to the cause. If you can't be here for Saturday, you don't have to be. And I try to stress this. I know it's funny because until you start doing them, you realize like how much you do say it. But seriously, even $1 helps. For St. Jude, for $2, it buys the masks for the doctors and the kids that are sick, so they can have new fresh masks every time. It costs $2. So even if you have $2, you can donate to St. Jude, and that does something. It does more than you think. So for me, January 18th, 24-hour charity stream for St. Jude. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have fun incentives. We're going to be playing Sea of Thieves. We're going to play Destiny. We're going to be playing Marbles on stream, probably Quiplash. We're gonna have a good time, and it's all to me, it's for the kids, but it's also for the families that are going through what they're going through. And it's a very, very, very important.
So the folks listening, another just kind of thing to take a look at, because St. Jude is so big and is so recognizable, if you do a donation through your employer, see if they'll do a donation match, because a lot of the big companies
really
will
want
do
me
that.
to shave again, don't you? You really want
me
to shave again.
If I'm going to donate $25 and my company will willingly donate $25 to match it, why would I not pursue
exactly.
that? That's why.
No, that makes perfect sense.
I want you to shave your head, moron.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening. That is not
10 grand, chat. 10 grand.
Yeah, we tried that once. Didn't quite happen. All right, chat. So we gotta wrap up stream, everybody. So again, Z, thank you very, very much for joining us. It is always a pleasure having you on here. And Nick, thank you for being here. Brandon, thank you for being here. And chat, most of all, thank you for all the questions, for all the comments, for keeping things moving. We really do appreciate it. Remember, folks, you can actually take part in this, not just in chat, but even afterwards. Go on ahead and drop us a voicemail on WhatsApp, or drop us a text at 703-791-1701. Even without WhatsApp, you can go ahead and leave us a voicemail there. You can also drop us an email at podcast@happyhourforthetower.com. And, of course, you can find us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Google Play, and on Spotify. You can find us all there. And, again, thank you all for listening. On behalf of Nick, on behalf of Brandon, on behalf of Z, eyes up, Guardian. Time to give up the ghost the first round, that's on us. All right, and we are back for the post show. Nicely done, Z. Man, felt
You
good.
just said first again.
Did feel good. Did feel good.
As always, it felt. Yeah, man. I still remember that whole. Hey Z, you want to stick around and record another show with us? Sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Oh, that was fun. That was good. Looking forward to what you got planned for this 24-hour stream. So I forgot to ask, when are you starting the what's the actual
I'm probably
time
gonna start
time?
at 9 a.m.
9
I think
a.m.?
I'm gonna start at 9 a.m. Yep. 9 a.m. Try to keep it
Okay.
the same because my body already wakes. Because if I try to start it any earlier, it's gonna I won't know if I'll necessarily wake up feeling good to
Right.
go.
Right.
Like at 9 o'clock, I'm typically awake and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to start earlier to try to end it earlier on Sunday. I mean,
makes
it's
sense.
technically not earlier, but
That makes sense.
Yeah,
but
Are you going to introduce him to Soul?
I'm not sure if that's I don't know if Zach has ever So Zach, have you
I have watched you play. Is that where it's like an orb?
Yeah,
like,
you're the
kinda
ball of
flies
light.
around?
Yeah. I thought you were in that for that stream. Is that your kind of game? The whole kind of working through puzzles and just it's Myst-esque. It's Myst-esque, but I think personally I felt that the payoff at the end of it was way more than what I experienced with Myst. I remember. Man, I slogged through the game Myst, and when I got to the end, I'm like, "That's it, really?" And it kind of put me off. It kind of put me off for going forward with that type of game. Soul, there was something about it, and I can't really put my finger on it, but it did. It was like I said, it was all the joy of Myst without the with a better payoff. But is that not your kind of game?
No, I consider myself a pretty picky gamer. I'm usually like I played the what are the games? It's like he's basically Indiana Jones.
Not Nolan North, but Nolan North is the
Uncharted.
voice. Uncharted.
Uncharted. I played Uncharted and I got through maybe like one and a half of the games, and I just eventually I got kind of bored of trying to figure out the puzzles. Like it just wasn't for me. Soul, it was interesting to watch, but I don't know if I could stay connected to it too long.
Right.
I don't necessarily need fast pace all the time. Obviously with Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves has a lot of downtime, but
So we didn't get a chance to really talk about this. What happened with you in The Division?
oh dude, the game just so sad. It's so sad.
because you were really
It's not
into
even-
it, and it looked great.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
Right.
First one or the second one?
Second,
I think
It fell off.
yeah, the second one. I never got into the first one. Second one I really enjoyed. But then it started getting to this point where like the only way to do anything is if you went into the dark zone.
Yeah, the
And it
end
was
game is
just
the
like
most
if you did not have a
repetitive
good
So wait, so hang on. What was the Dark Zone?
the end game for the Division 2 is just the most repetitive stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it was so like for me it was fun until I got to the end game and I had to like just go into the dark zone, and dark zone is an area where PvP happens in Division.
Okay.
Like normally if you're not in the dark zone, you're fighting PvE the entire time. You go in the dark zone, you fight PvE and PvP. So you'd find players in there too. But the problem is a lot of times you would find players with teams. And like if you were by yourself, you would get destroyed.
Didn't stand a chance.
Oh wow.
You did not stand a chance. And the way that the spawn systems work
I would hate
is
that.
you would typically spawn in the same door. So what would happen is you would spawn it. Well, no, you could
I think I
choose
see
your
where
spawn.
you're going with this. Okay, yeah.
But the areas of in Division 1, it was one giant area. Division 2, there was sections, like smaller sections.
There were 3.
So like even if you in the dark zone you would die, you could select the door. Eventually, they're gonna find you again because the area is not big enough.
So they just
Unless
camp.
you go to a different section.
They camp at the spawns, wait for you to spawn, and then knock you out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it was such a good game, and it just for me it hit a wall, and I just couldn't get back into it. I even watched like Goth when the raid came out for Division, and then like they played the raid once. I think maybe they did it. I think they even had Glad come in with them.
Wow, that's a stacked team right there. That's a stacked team.
And it just like it also speaks towards Destiny. Like if Glad's not playing Destiny,
exactly.
Something's happening.
Something's wrong. Wrong.
But I think they tried to do the raid, and then I think that was it. Like they just stopped playing.
It just wasn't fun.
That's weird.
It just wasn't fun.
It's a shame.
And it's so sad because I was enjoying it so much. I really was.
No, it was funny because I was actually working downtown, like with Code.gov. So I was watching Z play, and on occasion Z would be like, "T, I'm anywhere near you," and I'm like, "I'm trapped in GSA. Come get me!" And I could see the GSA build. I could see the GSA building from where Z was. I'm like, "You're so close. One more block."
That's fun. It was just like
the game was pretty fun for a while. It's sad. It really is sad.
And none of the DLC was stuff to get too excited about until like I think maybe this March, when it's supposed to be like, oh, you returned to New York.
Oh, are you serious? They're going back to that well?
It's
viable. It wasn't like you had to take they took like a helicopter there or something.
Maybe, I don't know. They haven't explained anything.
Do you pick up Rick Grimes on the way?
Helicopter. Right.
The cool thing about Division 2 is that it's here.
Yeah.
So it
was really, and like I said, it was really well done. I mean, I remember often Z would ask me, "How accurate is this map, T?" And I'd be like, "I just had lunch there."
Anytime anytime we're in any of those games where it's somewhere that we've been. So for Brandon, it was the Division was in New York. Spider-Man. There's a backpack on my building. My office has like one of his costumes, and I'm so happy. And then we just went to a resort out in West Virginia.
Is it that resort that's got the
because it's in Fallout 76.
Yeah.
So at one point, I'm gonna make you tell the story again because Zach hadn't heard it. So we're on this Jeep pulled trolley, and we're looking at all the holiday lights that they have outside, and we're going down this hill toward the restaurant that leads to the golf course. And Brandon leans over to me and he says,
I farmed for XP in that spot.
That's awesome.
It's art imitating life,
awesome.
imitating art. So, yeah, that's always fun. But when you get up to New York and you're like, I'm right there. I go, that's that subway and that stop, and here's the jazz club, and then the one in DC where we're kind of like, so where is this? It's it would be on the map, but it's just kind of right off here to the northwest. So those are always fun.
I mean, and there were parts where people would be they'd be playing Division 2. They'd be like, oh, this looks like a bad part of town. I'm like, even before this apocalypse, that was a bad part of town.
Yeah.
Now every part of the town is a bad part of town. So you're just gonna have to adjust.
Did you guys ever play Detroit Become Human?
Yep,
I did.
That game was. So I guess I don't know if it's come out for PC yet, but they were supposed to come out. It has.
It was December.
It was because of
so
these
there's
guys.
areas in there that look just like Detroit, boarded up windows.
Did you
spit an image?
Did you play that one?
Yes. Yeah.
So the scene where you wake up in the graveyard.
Oh dear God!
Yeah.
Dear God!
Yeah.
That was some terrible.
So freaky.
That was damn freaky.
Yeah.
That was so damn freaky.
No. That game was so good. That game was
beautiful.
So good.
Yeah. And I loved how it was because of these guys I got into it. I had not even heard of the game until
the one we still need to play. That's the same style as Man of Medan.
It's a 2-person horror game.
Yeah.
I've heard about
the
that.
Same style as Until Dawn.
Oh, okay.
But it's co-op.
Now I watched Z play Until Dawn, and it was
I love Until
it was so neat. It was so neat to see Brett. Damn it! He was in Agents of Shield. He was the double agent in Agents of Shield.
Oh,
Brett Dalton.
Brett
Dalton.
Yeah, everyone in that.
And then
game
Raymond
was a big
Malik
name.
shows up in that game, and I'm like, wow, this is pre-Oscar Raymond Malik. And it was just great to see not just the level of talent.
Oh no, Until Dawn will age perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean,
but watching Z and Molly play it together, that was It was like what? That's where I got the idea, Z. That's where I got the idea of Philippa's Freaky Friday. Was watching you and Molly play Until Dawn, and I said, okay, I've got to do that. I've got to do that with
Until
Pip.
Dawn. I hate scary games. I hate. Like, it doesn't bother Molly, but the entire time I'm watching it, my eyes are like half closed. I'm like squinting.
See,
I'm like, babe, am I running into a wall?
I thought that would be flipped. I thought
No,
you would be. You're not a horror movie
I
guy.
hate. No. No.
Maybe it's
Absolutely
maybe it's
not.
Aliens Isolation might be the next one.
Oh
for
dear
him.
God!
We have a security camera on the front of our house, and one of our friends yesterday, she's like, "So is it live or is it record?" And I said, "Well, it lives, but we could have we have the option if we want it to record." She's like, "Well, I'm gonna go to it and like tell me if you see me." I'm like, "Well, we're gonna see you." She walks up though, and she has really long hair. And she flips her hair forward
to do the ring.
She starts walking, and yeah, she's the ring. And I'm like, get away from the fucking window!
He's dialing 911. Molly's like, chill the fuck out.
I'm like, that's not okay. Get help.
If you haven't heard the
Great.
story at MagFest a couple years ago, there was a chick who did Samara, but she was like a contortionist, and she had her own TV.
Yeah.
So she would just routinely put the TV down somewhere, crawl into it, and disappear, and then crawl out of it, and everybody would lose their crap.
Yeah,
So it's the
yeah,
best
I got
cosplayer I've
it.
ever seen. Yeah.
I got a photograph of it. See, I will put it in your chat. I will put it in your Discord.
Oh, dude, it was so good.
No,
so good.
Absolutely not.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
Not
So
a horror
funny.
guy. I could recommend 7,000 horror movies.
Oh
to you,
yeah.
dude. I like that's
oh,
my
look, I would be
wheelhouse.
knowing this now about Z. I would be really impressed if he made it through BioShock.
I mean, I love scary movies. What are you talking about? I love them.
I mean, because the scariest game.
Go watch the audition and get back to me.
Oh dear God, no. I saw clips of audition. I said no effing way.
Oh, it's
but
ugh.
now BioShock is the scariest games that I've played. The BioShocks 1 and 2, and they were so much damn fun, but they were scary as hell, scary and creepy as hell, but they hold up so freaking well. And
you just gave me actually an incentive, a goal incentive,
which is
to play a scary game.
Oh no,
Yes.
not to play a scary game. I want to see Zach play Alien Isolation.
Oh my God.
I want to see Zach play Alien Isolation.
Please. That game is.
I'm gonna YouTube it. What is this game?
It is considered the sequel that we should have gotten from Aliens.
It's one of the
Alien
best uses of 3D sound.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Yes.
I remember the opening lines of the Wired interview. I'm in a VR set and I'm playing Alien Isolation and I just crap my pants. That's the opening line. I was like, damn, that's gonna rank right up there with it was the best of times, the worst of times. I just crap my pants.
Perfect.
Oh man, but yeah, it's such a yeah. I have it sitting there. I have it sitting in there for PS4, and I'm just like, one day I will play it.
You've been talking about that for a long time.
I know I have.
Right.
And I'm terrified.
Hopefully
to play
it's
it.
PSVR.
What?
We can do that because we have a PlayStation VR. You can play it in
You
VR
guys are
at
daring
our
me,
house.
are you? do you want to change? Do you want to change the bet so that at $5,000 I'll play a VR version of Alien Isolation and stream it instead of shaving my beard?
So you'll go to $4,000 for the beard?
You're not gonna let me live that one down. I understand. That's for the kids. I'm okay.
I have it clipped, bud. You ain't saving that. If we did, no, that's clipped.
All right.
That's like it's like a contract.
You hit 5K, it's Alien Isolation. You clear 5K,
It's the beard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
hey,
All
there
right.
you
Here you
go.
go.
Okay.
Hit 5K. I play Alien Isolation on VR on stream.
It's the
God damn it.
anti-order 1776.
Yeah.
It actually works.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you say the whole thing out so we can
Okay.
have a
All right.
contract?
Brandon, I will shut up. Hold on.
Here we go.
Flip it.
At $5,000, I will play VR Alien Isolation, and we will stream it from the
And?
Kellys. When we clear 5K, I will shave my beard for the kids on stream.
Flip it, chat.
There you go.
Flip it. Contract.
So there you go.
When you are you also going to record you telling your wife this? Because
I'll break it to her gently.
last time there was a lot of gnashing of teeth and wringing of hands.
Oh no, there was no gnashing of teeth. They were screaming in abject terror when I was shaving, and it wasn't so bad. The only thing it was that was really a pain was when it was at that part of growing back, and it started to itch. It started to itch really.
I can't do
bad.
neck beard. I don't know how you do it. It drives me nuts. Like,
No, I mean,
this is
I
it
don't.
right
I don't do
here.
neck
Oh.
beard. It stops at about mid chin, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. But Srigor just
I
said,
don't have that
shaving
problem.
your beard again? No, you don't. He's like, are you feeling okay? This is for the kids. This is for the kids. It's for Z's. It's for Z's.
You really
He's going for
gotta-
3.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for
Gotta
3.
Phrase it different. I'm sorry.
Phrasing.
Hey Zach, if it makes you feel any better, our 16-year-old over here can grow a full mustache in like 3 days.
It's not on purpose.
I don't think I'd want to see that. It would probably look like that Henry Cavill porn stash he did for Mission Impossible, doesn't it?
It's worse.
At least he owns
So,
it.
okay,
It
so
actually looks
is
more
it-
like
it's
the
probably-
video for "I Want to Break Free" by Queen.
Oh, damn.
It does.
Damn. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
Why
tough.
do you think I shave every day?
I want to. Man. I still remember the first time I saw that video when Freddie Mercury
So
stepped
I
out.
unfortunately-
I was like, whoa.
Go ahead,
I
Zach.
unfortunately grow a beard and a mustache, but it looks like I'm still 16.
And I take it Molly prefers the clean-shaven ZG.
Molly hates it. She hates it.
Oh,
It's like that,
too funny.
that episode
She'll
of The
just look
Office
at me
where
and
they're all
she'll like
doing-
grab her chin and she'll just be like, "Can you just shave? Can you just please shave for me?"
Where they're doing No Shave November,
Oh yeah,
and Toby's the one. With
yeah, yeah.
And you see, it's just the opposite. See, Pip and Sonny had never seen me without it.
never
Well,
seen it either.
yeah, no, you hadn't seen it.
I was on the stream.
Yeah,
I wasn't commenting, but I was there.
I know.
Yeah, I was there.
No, but and the thing was, Pip had only seen me in photographs, and of course, I've always had a beard around the kiddo. So when
I
I
had to go to bed after watching that.
So when I shaved, I mean, it was just the funny thing was when I went to the, and this is kind of a credit to where I'm working and where I'm hoping to be leaving soon, but I walked into the office without the beard. Nobody blinked. Nobody even like noticed. And then one person finally said, "T, did you shave?" And I'm like, "Wow, you guys are really on top of your game here." And but I mean, but everyone else was like, "Oh my god!" And it was an adjustment factor. But no,
What about-
Pip hated it.
what about
Pip
Blackout
hated
Club?
it. What was that?
Would Z like that?
I think it's too.
What was it?
Which one?
The Blackout Club?
It's fun. It's just a lot of time commitment to get to the parts where it's genuinely scary.
Okay, never mind. But then you put hours and hours and hours into Dead by Daylight, so
That's true.
I know your
I
your
get scared
affinity
by
for
that.
jump scares.
I get scared by that because I'm an
Yeah, by
idiot.
Daylight doesn't seem like it would ever scare me.
It's tense. It's not scary.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have tense moments in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely have butthole tighteners for sure.
Try the forest.
The what?
The forest.
Oh, I've seen Phil play. Now. So okay. So Z, there's a friend of mine, a friend of the streams actually. His name is Phil Rossi, and what's amazing about Phil is Phil stays on brand. First off, one, he's a musician, very talented musician. He's also a talented. I hate the guy. He's also a talented writer, and his forte is horror. So Phil does what he calls the Phil Rossi Scream Stream. And all he does is stream VR and horror and not VR.
And now he has the Don't Turn Around podcast.
Yeah, he's got the Don't Turn Around podcast where he interviews people. The Don't Turn Around podcast where he interviews people about actual paranormal stuff that's happened to him. He's actually said to me, he said, "T, in 2020, you and I are going to like East State Penitentiary in PA, or we're going to Waverly Sanatorium,
Waverly Hills.
Waverly
Let's
Hills.
go. That's
And
where my
we're-
brother lives.
and
Not
we're-
in the sanitarium.
and we're going to record a podcast, and we can stream it. We'll stream it." And I'm like, okay.
I wish Molly and I got a night tour of Alcatraz.
Oh, that would have been great.
Alcatraz
did
was
they offer that?
It was such a yes. There's night
Oh
tours,
my
but
God,
it's
a night tour
they're.
of
I mean,
Dude,
shoot,
you'd
you gotta
lock
like
yourself-
order way ahead of
Oh, I
time.
believe it.
He
it.
would lock himself in
Um,
his closet for weeks. Why would
you guys,
yeah.
Z, you guys have the abandoned Packer car plant too that's up there in Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
The old train. We have I think the old train station, like the old train. I don't know if it was a train station. I can't remember.
We watch Mysteries of the Abandoned all the fucking time.
Oh yeah,
It's
oh yeah.
so
Well,
good.
Mysteries of the Abandoned is great.
Yeah, but the Packer plant that was up there, and then we have the Ghost Fleet out.
Yeah.
which out by us.
Yeah. I mean, but so anyway, so Phil does the screams, his scream stream, and he actually found, I don't know how he found these, but he found these games from Thailand. These horror first person horror video games from Thailand.
Are there super fast zombies?
Yes. And they're ridiculous.
Resident Evil.
They are ridiculous. Oh, this made Resident Evil. This made Resident Evil look like
Resident Evil is the
Skylanders.
first game that ever scarred me.
Wow.
I'm gonna pivot off of his, and I'm gonna do the Wilhelm scream stream, and then it'll just be everybody who dies with the Wilhelm scream.
That works. That works. That works.
It's probably 700 hours worth of that.
Yeah.
All right. So chat, let's go ahead and let's find somebody to send. Oh wait, actually, Z, are you streaming now, or did you not stream this tonight?
I did not stream.
All right,
No,
all
I
right.
didn't stream.
He didn't even know he
then
needed his camera.
Oh, there's that. But actually, so okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and let AutoHost do its thing. Chat, thank you all very much for joining us tonight. I know Z was talking about getting some possible gaming in tonight. I didn't want to keep him too late. Didn't want to keep the guys too late. It's been a great run. It's great having Z on the show again, just hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a
Thanks
blast.
for coming, man.
So thank you, everybody. It's been a good night. Take care of yourselves, everyone. And as for myself, I will be streaming Thursday night for sure with Blind Leads the Blind with Steve Saylor. Go ahead and make sure to swing by here, twitch.tv/the T-Monster. And as far as Z goes, that's twitch.tv/ZGphoto. Thanks again, everyone, and you all have a good night. Take care.